I just kind of wanted to jump on and not really do any horror mods or anything. I just wanted to just kind of talk, which is really, really weird for me because I haven't done it before, but I don't know. That's kind of what I wanted to do, to be honest. I didn't really want to do any heavy editing or anything. I just wanted to kind of talk. Um, Mainly about um why I even decided to, that's weird, make content in the first place. Um and well, to be honest, I don't even know what my main like um audience is, but I'm just hoping that this will find the right demographic of people who I guess I'm trying to reach out to. Um because kind of the reason why I started this channel in the first place was because I wanted to do something for myself. And kind of all my life, I feel like I've never really done anything for myself. Like, truly for myself and for my own benefit. Um, I've always been scared to do anything for myself. Mainly because the fear of obviously it not going as planned or just completely failing, which I feel like a lot of people who I've talked to, and I feel like a lot of people on the internet, and just probably a lot of you guys have felt that way as well. You know, just that fear of failing or trying and being judged. I feel like for me anyway. And that is a lot for me to admit, about being scared about being judged. I feel like I've been judged all my life, to be honest, which is the main reason why I haven't done this sooner. I've always wanted to make content, didn't really know what kind of content, I just knew that I enjoyed making it. And I know a lot of you guys, well, I mean, no one is going to know this. I used to like make an editing account. I used to make an editing account. I used to have an account where I made edits. I used to edit everything, like literally everything. I used to edit movies, TV shows, celebrities. And I think that's kind of where the like my stem for creation really start. Actually, that's a lie. That's not where it started. And I'm gonna be really outing myself here. I used to make like YouTube videos when I was very, very, very young. So cringy. Like, even if I knew where those videos were now, I would never, ever tell anyone about them. I'm pretty sure that channel is all lost. It's in the deep, deep depths of YouTube, and that's where I want them to stay. I don't ever want to find them. And if I do find them one day, I think that would be quite funny. Embarrassing, but funny. But I'm not actively seeking those videos out. I think I want to keep them where they are, and that's just lost. I don't want to find them. That is where the stem for creation, I think, really stemmed from. I mean, I always wanted to be a YouTuber. Not really any specific YouTuber, I just knew I wanted to do something in terms of content creation. But me being very introverted and unfortunately cares a lot about what people think about me or how I'm gonna be perceived in other people's eyes. That obviously set me back a lot because I would have started this a lot earlier. But in the end, it was obviously my fear that was dragging me back. And I think a lot of people will relate to that, I feel like. That's why I'm hoping this will reach the right audience, and I don't know, you guys can sort of tell me if you relate to this, because I've never really spoken about this to anyone. Mainly because in my head it sounds stupid. Like, why should you care what anyone thinks? And this isn't even like with content creation. It's been with every aspect of my life. Like at school, at work. Like I feel like I'm just constantly being judged. And I know what everyone says, like no one cares. Nobody cares about what you're doing. They're more in like focused. Oh, what is that over there? They're more focused in their own life. Which subconsciously I know that's true. But with me, I'm an overthinker. And when you combine that with anxiety and, you know, that constant fear of being judged, it doesn't really matter what the reality of it is, because whether, you know, that's true or not, your mind makes up stuff in your head. That's just, you know, that's just what the human mind does for a lot of people. You make this stuff up in your head. Whether it's like a defense mechanism or not, I don't really know, or it literally is just your mind being ridiculous. It really doesn't matter what the reality of it is, because you will always, no matter, I feel like no matter what, you'll always have that fear at the back of your head. And I would say quite confidently, I've come quite far from like where I was, say, a few years ago. Like I was really bad when it came to my anxiety years ago. Like if I was to do this years ago, I think I would have probably quit within the first video. Because unfortunately the internet and the world is a dark place sometimes, and you do get haters and people that just do not think before they speak. And I've always sort of knew that, because even when I was doing my little editing account on Instagram, like back in 2016, like little 15, 16-year-old me, I can't remember how old I was back then. I was young. You still had haters even then. But oh my god, even then, having negative comments even back then, it took a toll on me back then. I was very, very, very fragile. And that obviously just stemmed from caring way too much about what people thought about me and how they perceived me. And I focused way too much on that. And that is the main reason why I kept quitting. I kept quitting, making new accounts, And no, it wasn't solely because of hate. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and, like, I didn't get hate. It was just, like, odd comments every now and then. Or people just giving their opinions when they're not needed, or just hating simply for the sake of hating, which is something I will never, ever understand. And I know that hate stems from, like, a person who subconsciously sees that in themselves. Like half the time you'll see when people are hating on you, it's their own insecurities that they're perceiving onto you. I didn't understand that at the time. I was just like, this person is saying that this video is bad and I'm gonna believe it because why would I not? Why else would they comment that? Yeah. So it wasn't all because of them and the hate that they perceived onto me, which obviously was an insecurity themselves. Because as much as I enjoyed it, it was, I don't know, I just could not commit to longer. I think the longest I had an account for was like a year. But for some reason, I just could not, I could not do it for longer than a year. So then coming into my adulthood, I've always had that sort of feeling of not being enough because I could not stick to one thing for longer than a year. And I would sort of sit there and think like, wow, if I couldn't stick to that for longer than a year, like, I'm not going to be able to do anything. So I think this has just been sort of proved to myself I can stick to something for longer than just, you know, a set amount of time. And I can, and like realistically, succeeding in this sort of industry, you need to not care about what people think of you. Sure, take criticism, you know, constructive criticism that people are giving you to maybe improve in your content, but haters, you're going to have to expect that. And I know that. I know that now, and it's not going to affect me as much. Like, I truly do not care what people think. Sure, I may see a comment every now and then that might get to me, but at the end of it, I'm not going to care. I'm not going to take their hate into account of what I'm doing and where I'm going. And sure, that's going to take a long time for me to really, like, truly in my soul not care, because I'm an empathetic person. I feel probably, I'm like really sensitive and I feel a lot more than the average person. So, of course, things are still going to affect me, but in the end, I'm not going to care. I'm going to grow from it. And this is what this account has really meant to me. You know, didn't really start it because, you know, anything else other than that. Of course, there's other things that you want to come from this, but in the end, that has been the main reason why I've wanted to start, is to prove something to myself and really truly do something for me. And really, I've just been sick and tired of procrastinating and waiting for the perfect moment to do something. I feel like that's what most of my life has been sitting and waiting for the perfect moment, which is why it has taken so long for me to actually start content creation as a whole, whether that's with streaming, YouTube, TikTok, anything. Like now, like I haven't even started streaming yet because I keep overthinking, waiting for the quote unquote perfect moment. And this has really just been the first step of stopping my procrastination. I don't even know if I'm if I'm making any sense at the moment. I'm just like yapping. I don't even know if what anything I've just said has made sense. But I think talking about it and just sort of putting it out there, whether anyone sees us at all, even if it's one person or two people, like, I'm just putting it out there for my own closure. And, you know, if there's someone that sees this and resonates with it, or even just relates, I want to hear their thoughts. I want to know that I'm not alone, even though I know I'm not alone in this. Just to have that one person talk about it and actually see it makes it more real. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Yeah. If anyone wants to talk in the comments, I'm always free to talk. And that can be literally about anything. Because to be honest, why is there a bit of cobblestone there? Because to be honest, that's all I've ever wanted. Is to just talk to someone who understands, or even if they don't understand, you know, it's a part of growing, and you know, it's a learning point, I feel like. That is how I've changed my perception of life, is hearing other people's life experiences, issues, their learning points, you know? And I'm not saying that because, like, I can't talk to my family about it, because I definitely could, but they won't really understand, or they won't really know what to do with what I tell them. Whereas, you know, people on the internet who have had to deal with the toxicity of it may understand more, like, where I'm coming from. Oh my god, why is there so much movement? That's freaking me out. I need to remember I'm not in a horror mod, so there's nothing sneaking up on me other than just like the normal Minecraft mobs. And I have spoken to my family about some issues, not necessarily what I've been talking about, because I have suffered with, you know, I have had my down moments. I'm not gonna like diagnose it as depression or anything like that, because I don't think it was. I think it was just a dark time in my life that I had, that you know, everyone is gonna have in their life, whether that's adulthood or childhood. You know, you are gonna have dark moments, and that's what I had. And it was my first time speaking to my family about it. But I left it for so long, to the point I need to jump down here. Ooh. But I left it for so long to the point where I like completely broke down. And that's because I bottled it up for so long, didn't speak to anyone about it for so long, that I reached the breaking point, and I had no choice but to talk to my family about it. Which is why I'm just sort of venting on here. You know, speak my quote unquote issues, I guess, onto the internet for whoever may come across it. This is actually like really, really pretty area. That's weird. Yeah. Obviously, if this channel does go relatively well, I would like to do this for a living. You know, I'm not gonna say that it, you know, I'm gonna do everything in my power to make it go well. But in the end, it's not fully in my power. You know, I can't confidently say that it's gonna work out well. No matter how much work and my soul that I put into it, you know, I don't have that power. Otherwise, you know, if everyone would be successful, you do have to put in, I know you had to put in the work. And when you fail and you keep on failing, that's when you need to really just stick through it. And that's kind of gonna be the make or break of it, I think, for me. I think when it gets difficult, I just need to make sure that I really stick with it. You know, not just do it for a few months and then quit. I need to just like really stick with it. And the fact that I've even stuck with it for like, what, 3 months now? Uh-oh. That is like, that's a big accomplishment for me. And I'm proud of myself for even that. Like, even if, you know, I don't even know, where was I gonna go? I was gonna say something, but then I got sidetracked. What was I gonna say? I really lost my train of thought. I think what I was saying was, with just sticking through with it, and even if, you know, I don't exactly know what I'm doing with my content at the moment, it's what's making me happy. And I'm not gonna lie, that at the beginning of it, it was really hard to navigate, like, with what I was meant to be doing and what I really should be doing for myself. Because I've realized I like more of the unedited content more than the heavily edited content. As much as I really do enjoy editing, and I have for many years, it's the sort of slow-paced, like less edited videos that I like doing more. Because I've tried the like heavily edited videos, and I really don't enjoy making them as much, and I think that really resonates in with the video. When I don't enjoy making something as much as other said thing. And that is something I really do want to stick with, is I want to make sure that I'm doing something for me and I'm not doing it for the quote unquote algorithm. Even though you 100% can do something for yourself and the algorithm, you just really need to like try different video ideas, strategies, which is, I think, what I'm navigating through at the moment. Because I do like to do, you know, longer content, but also not heavily edited, which I didn't really expect. I thought I was gonna, like, you know, make these really heavily edited videos, like more of like the commentary style videos. Even though when I've grown up, all I've wanted to do was like let's plays when they were popular once upon a time. But I kind of wanted to do that, but obviously this isn't 2016 anymore. And content like that just doesn't do well. And I know I just said that that I wasn't gonna do anything for just the content. This is a really nice area. I actually might make a little base here. Even though I said I wasn't gonna do it solely for the algorithm and I was gonna do it for myself. Which that is still true. But it just means doing different forms of it. Because I don't think there would be a lot of people that would watch just solely, that was stupid, solely Let's Plays. You know, you got to do different, I guess, different versions of it. Because it's still around, but it's just not in the way that it was, like, however long ago. Like, oh my god, 9 years ago. That is crazy. Yeah. I do like just talking and yapping and doing whatever. But the algorithm doesn't like that because people's attention spans are very short. But you know, I'm still experimenting. Jesus, can't speak with that even now. And if it works, if it works, and if I find something that works for me and I enjoy it, then I'm, you know, that's what I'm gonna do. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do that, and I'm just gonna put all of this in there. What sort of house should I build? That's another thing I want to do. I really want to experiment with building more. I've just recently joined a few SMPs, so that's kind of where I want to, you know, experiment with my building. I do enjoy building. I'm just not particularly good at it. But, you know, if I just practice, you know, the better I'll get. Anyway, I think I'm gonna leave you guys to it. I don't even know if I'm gonna post this, to be honest. I'll see. Yeah. If I do post it and you guys, you know, relate to it, do let me know in the comments. Or, you know, talk about your personal experiences. Whether you relate to it or you don't, or you have no idea what I'm on about. You know, still, I'd like to hear. But yeah, I guess I'll see you guys whenever I decide to post, whether I do post this or not.